Good morning, everybody. Mike Wright, Edge Home Finance. I'm very honored and excited to have Angie Gerber here as our Realtor of the Week.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yeah,
I'm so
we
excited.
appreciate you, and we're all excited to learn about you. Obviously, we have the Realtor Connect Facebook group, which has over 900 and some realtors. We're desperately trying to get to 1,000.
I love it.
So yeah,
I'll help you.
keep trying to grow and grow and grow, and we'll take these pieces and also do Instagram Realtor of the Week, YouTube Realtor of the Week. So we appreciate you coming on and sharing your wisdom and experience, my friend.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Not a problem at all. So tell us, I mean, you've got quite a resume, right? How did you initially, well, let's talk about your family.
Yeah.
You talked, first of all, she's a bulldog, UMD Bulldog. Go Dogs,
Yes.
That's my alma mater, so love that. Now, your husband, you were telling me, is an outdoors person.
Yes.
You love to be outdoors, but as we age, sometimes being outdoors isn't as sexy as it used to be.
Yeah, not the winter. The summer I'm all about. Like, I love the baseball season too with my kids. Just as I get older, I'm finding that I want to be somewhere warm, but outside still, just maybe not on the back of a snowmobile. I'll be on a boat.
It's funny because my one Duluth moment, which I was proud of, we snowshoed and camped on the top of one of the rivers in the middle of the winter, just freezing our asses off. But when you're young, who cares? You can still get out of a sleeping bag. So it's not as easy doing that now. But tell us about your family.
Yes, so I have been married for 16 years, mom to 3. My oldest bonus son is 19, and he is a freshman at UMD playing baseball.
Nice.
So keeping with it. And I have a 14-year-old son, Mason, who is a freshman in high school. And my daughter, Haley, is 11, and she is her first year in middle school. So it was a big transition year for everyone in our household.
I'll be darned. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Whereabouts do you live?
I'm up in the Plymouth area.
Perfect.
Yep. Yeah, so I'm not much further from where I grew up in Hopkins, Minnetonka area. I graduated from Hopkins High School, and just kind of stayed in the area. I'm Minnesota born and raised, and still here.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And your husband is a outdoors person?
Yes, absolutely.
16 years?
Yeah, 16 years married, more together. And
I love it.
Yeah, we've done the boundary waters, and he snowmobiles, ice fishes, outdoor, is the baseball coach. So yeah, anything that can keep us outdoors.
Does the baseball coach for
my middle son?
Oh,
yeah,
great.
Just yeah.
It's funny because we have these. We have a lot of people on here with kids, and one of the resounding deals is coaching with your kids.
Yeah.
Right, and I did it raising our 2 daughters and son. And it's priceless, it's the memories he'll never ever forget, and your son will love it forever. So I applaud you guys for doing that. How did you end up in this wicked world of real estate? I know UMD can get you sideways, but how did you end up in this business?
Yeah, well, I've always had a servant heart, so I've always been in some sort of customer service role. And I was at the same company for 13 years, kind of considered it my career, grew it from 10 people to, I don't know, almost 40. I mean, it was great. And I realized that, once I started having kids, I would leave at, 6 in the morning and get back at 5 at night, have just a couple hours, and very dedicated, very loyal. And I was just like, there's just got to be more. And then a good friend of mine purposely dropped a hint to someone close enough to me that I could hear it. And all of a sudden, there's a fire lit inside of me.
Nice.
And I literally could not sleep that night. I'm like, that's the ultimate way to serve someone, is to help them buy or sell their biggest asset. I just knew that it's something I had to do. And so I decided in February, beginning of February, mid-February, that I was going to do this. I worked full-time, had 3 little ones at that time, because this was 10 years ago. And I got my 90 hours done and licensed within 90 days.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Good.
So, I mean, I was all in.
Yeah.
And by April, I left my career of 13 years,
Wow.
6 weeks paid vacation, 401k, jumped ship to 100% commission, not knowing a thing that I was doing. I went from knowing it all to knowing absolutely nothing.
It's an interesting business. I've been in a mortgage business at Edge for 30 years, and it's just crazy to me, the ebbs and flows. And everybody, with this lawsuit going on, everybody thinks we just make money. I got news for you. The amount of money you spend, advertising, marketing, open houses, all this stuff, it's not as glamorous, but it's perseverance. And you've survived 10 years.
Yeah.
In this business. And so you started at KW,
Yep.
then you went to the Realty Group, phenomenal companies. Now you're at EXP.
Yeah.
Who was the bright soul that brought you to EXP?
Well, you know her well, Carrie Briner. She saw the coach in me.
Yeah.
So my backstory is when I was, in the thick of it, like I joined a team, so I got very successful very quickly and learned a lot, obviously baptism by fire. And in 2017, I actually hit a rock bottom. It's one of those things where everything looks great on the outside. And within 6 to 9 months, I just hit that slippery slope where you can't stop. And all of a sudden I became someone I didn't recognize with alcohol. And so it was at that moment where you're just in the ruins of it all that I had to make a decision. And I hired my first coach, not knowing how I was going to do it because I was, rock bottom, but figured it out. And Bob Proctor, it changed everything for me. And then that's when my passion found me, my purpose, because I think your purpose finds you. And then I was like, whoa, after a year of coaching with him, I needed a telescope to look back to see who I was. It's like I don't even know how to explain it. It's like he plucked me out of playing a basketball game and threw me into a swimming pool and says, you're playing the game wrong. Like, you're not meant to do it this way. And it's just being a whole different arena of people and information, and it's just the awareness opened.
The brilliance of that comment, so often we all look within, right? It's our business. It's if we don't make it, or how do we make it? There's resources, you guys. And I think that, Angie is a prime example, Carrie's a prime example of these people that have utilized mentors, coaches, and taken you from the darkness into an amazing world right now. So tell us a little bit about, obviously we'll touch base on your real estate, but you're a consultant for this gentleman now.
Yes, so the Proctor Gallagher Institute, I went through his year-long coaching program and everything changed for me. My whole life changed, and I set these goals that I had no idea how it was going to happen, and it kept happening.
Yeah.
And because I understood the process and I understand how this actually can and it does work. And so I was just like, wow. So then little imposter syndrome set in. I'm like, okay, well, I got to prove myself. I can't just go and do this. So I went to IPEC, which was another company, paid to get certified through them and did all their certification. And I loved it because it was the energy coaching, which is what Bob is in, as well as the laws of the universe and the energy. And got certified there and was coaching and always had a coach or a mentor. I always think, and I know that they will take what could take 10 years and bring it to a year or less. So I always have a coach. I think everyone should always have a coach. If you think about it, all the CEOs, all the amazing athletes, they not only have one, they have advisory boards, they have teams that work with them. So the best of the best know this. So okay, take your first clue, and hint there. So I took that. And so I've just always leveled up and had a coach and wanted to, become better at my craft and better at what I'm doing.
I love you use the term level up.
Yeah.
Right? That's a critical term. And, I'm going to use an example of a dear friend, husband and wife combo. She had just gotten beaten up during the day and was supposed to have coaching. And she turned to her husband and said, I'm not doing coaching today. I'm sick of the day. I just wanted to pass. And he turned to her and said, that is why you need coaching today.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely.
Is there merit? You said you were down and out.
Yeah.
What are some things that pulled you back into here's where I'm going?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the first thing I think was just being grateful and finding gratitude. That was the biggest shift for me right away. Was I was so in the victim mode, not a leader. It was happening to me. Why is this happening to me? Why do this and that? And it was just changing the question. Why is this happening for me? Not why is this happening to me?
Right.
And taking 100% responsibility. We are all our only problem and our only solution. And it wasn't until I just chose, you know what? I am where I am because of me. There's no one else to blame, and I am my only solution because I was my only problem. So it's just having the awareness and coming out of like the dark or having these blinders on, and it's all about just a different perspective and perception of the same exact thing, but looking at it differently and having different information.
I love that because so often those that are successful get looked upon. Everyone wants to bring them down, right? Mm-hmm. And it's why. Like, why is that mindset the deal? Look within, because you're the only one that can control your destiny, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's in even looking today at about how people are so reactive versus respond. It's like you can respond or react, and most people are reacting. And when you react, you give your power away. It's when you choose to respond and go within and look at the situation and respond to it versus react, even being cut off in traffic or how you deal with being in an airport, all of those things.
Yeah, well, and I think you've created your own podcast, which is amazing. She is, if you have not listened to it, tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, so it's me talking about all of the coaching stuff and all of the different, I talk about the higher faculties versus the five senses and how those play a role, gratitude, perception, awareness, just all of the stuff that I've learned from Bob and from my years of coaching, and continuing to, when I have a session with a client and something, they have this amazing aha, I'm like, this is what happens. This is the actual result. This is what can happen. And it's just choosing into yourself. So I really talk about what's going on and what I've learned and what's been most impactful.
Do you think this market, being as difficult as it is right now, and we're obviously here in Minnesota, you got December, January, February, you got the lawsuit, you got low inventory, you got higher rates. What has been your reaction to your team and your friends and your coaching on how to handle all this stuff?
Yeah. Well, there's a couple things. So first and foremost, I think we should come from a professional standpoint and educate. And in order to educate, we need to be educated. We need to go out and we need to find the information and not just what's given to us and what we're seeing or hearing from media.
Yes.
You really need to find the people that you trust and go to them and listen to them and go to a couple sources and really educate yourself and look at it from different perspectives. So like Bob Proctor, what he would say is you take the same situation, you put it in the middle of a table. Maybe it's a table that 6 people are sitting around. Get up out of your chair and go to the other side of the table or go to another chair and look at the same exact situation from a different perspective.
Yeah.
And I think we just need to understand that the more we can educate and the more we can show up and understand and meet the person on the other end where they're at and bring them the right information and understand where they're coming from. And it's all about meeting my clients where they're at, whether they're coaching clients or real estate clients, and being able to educate them at a high level.
It's brilliant because I know you've done the same thing with your podcast. Carrie had talked about the other day, this lawsuit is interesting because maybe now we have to get a professional buyer's presentation on why we deserve what we get paid, right? And I think it's so critical because there's a misnomer out there.
Yeah.
Well, you guys just don't do anything and you make great commission. Well, that can't be farther from the truth, right? Are you finding agents needing to be, motivated, retaught? Are you the inspiration for them? Or are you just a challenger to say, how about looking at it this way when you
Both.
do the coaching?
Yeah, both. I mean, I think the most important thing, and what I've learned even over my 10 years in real estate, is you truly have to be able to learn, unlearn, and relearn, because it's changing. And so it's really just about how you come about it. And I think, and my coach right now that I have, he talks about sales, and he's like, you should fall in love with sales. I have so many real estate agents that are hiding, are secret agents, or not wanting to do this. And, if you can't sell someone, you can't help them.
Right.
So if you switch your perception and how you look and view sales in a salesperson, put your 10,000 hours in. You should be practicing your sales presentation every single day. You should be getting 1% better every single day. And what I tell them is, I was just like, just think about it. And what Bob told me, he said, do exactly what I tell you to do until you find out one of two things. Either I'm lying or I don't know what I'm talking about. And I paid to become a consultant at his company. That's how much it changes everything.
Right.
And one of the things he said to me over and over, and he's just like, 1% better every day. You should be getting 1% better every day. Because if you do that, think right now, you're the worst version of yourself.
Yeah.
Because you should just be competing with yourself, not competing with the market, not competing with other agents. If you just focused on competing with yourself, and why not even 10x it? Why does it have to be 1%? Go for the quantum leaps and really lean into yourself and educating yourself and becoming the best you can at how you want to do this.
How has that made you a better realtor? I mean, I know it's easy to coach and preach or lecture or whatever the term is.
Yeah.
How has that made you better?
Leaning in and getting 1% better every day, I think it's made me more aware and just being able to listen. And the more that I know, and the more I surround myself around people like yourself, and that are, want to grow and are education based, the more that I level up. So it's if you can't get into the rooms, and if you can't find the right people, or we're in a day and age right now where you have the YouTube, you have podcasts, you have so much information that if you can't pay to get in these masterminds, you can get close enough to get this inspiration, to get this education. And it's by doing that and leveling up every day that you can show up as an expert, and you can show up and educate and meet them where they're at and show them through your actions, through how you speak to them, what you speak about, that you know what you're doing and you're going to advocate for them, and you're the very best because you've put your 10,000 hours in, and you can continue every day to level up in 1% better.
For me, I did these and I did them via Zoom, right? Which weren't great. Jake, who's a tremendous friend of mine and truly an inspiration behind doing this with this proper setup, it's been amazing. Our podcasts are you being you in front of the camera, knowing you're being seen by thousands. Was that awkward?
Yeah, I was the girl in the back of the room that wouldn't raise my hand at school. I mean, the worthiness and just the self-confidence, even if it was 2 + 2, I'd be like, maybe not, So it was really just about reinventing myself, and finally, again, my purpose found me. And once that happens, it became no longer about me. It's about this information. It's about 90 to 95% of people don't understand this and don't understand how their thoughts control their results. And if you don't like your results, you back it up to your actions. You act because of how you feel, and you feel because of your thoughts. So it was just by understanding that and switching out my thoughts to what will serve me versus what won't. I mean, you think about people when they first wake up in the morning. Are they going to how amazing the day's going to be and how they're going to kill it and, the affirmations or whatnot? No, they're going to the problems of yesterday or anxiety about what's to come. So it's through reinventing myself and through just working on myself the 1% better every day and challenging myself that I came out of my shell and I'm able to do this. I mean, you talk to people that knew the old version of me. what? Like, I wouldn't leave phone call messages in high school when there were answer machines because I hated my voice. And it's like, this is my face, this is my voice, this is it. If you don't like it, then probably shouldn't watch.
Yeah.
But it's what it is.
Well, and you, everything you just said right there,
Yeah.
and I've been in this business for 30 years. I still wake up in the morning going, oh, my Lord. Oh, what in heaven's name's happening? Jake and his motivation, Tom Hollis and his inspiration, you with this type stuff is so amazing. And you need to hear it over and over and over again because it's easy to let the devil seep into your head, right? And then it gets overwhelming. Then you're sitting in bed till 10 o'clock depressed.
Yeah.
So what is next for you? And your business and your coaching, are you, I mean, a lot of people with the EXP, Jake talked about the group that you're in.
Yes.
What is next for you?
You know, I am just going to keep showing up to give and to serve. And I know that if you give to give and not give to get, it will work and it will work out. And I'm just showing up in my purpose, in my light. Like, I coach so many of my agents. You know, real estate can be done any which way. One of the first business partners I had, we did it complete opposite. She would never door knock or cold call.
Yeah.
She did everything through networking. I stayed out of networking groups. We both had this amazing business. And so what I love to do is just find what lights me up and what lights my coaching clients up, whether they're real estate agents or others. Because the more you connect to it, the more you'll show up and do it. The first team I was on, they made people come in and script practice and cold call, and we would try recruiting agents for years, and we'd finally get them, and they'd just as fast as they got there, they'd leave.
Because they had to do this.
Yeah, and people were sick over it, losing sleep, anxious. I was, but the difference was that I knew nothing. They got me exactly where they wanted me. You have this person, and I had no option. I had to make this work. So I just did whatever, and I'm so grateful for it because it's also made me the coach I am today. Had I not gone through that and been put up against the wall and really having to figure this out and make it work and be so uncomfortable, because I can say one thing for sure, that's where growth happens, is when you're uncomfortable. So if you're comfortable and just getting along, then you're not growing.
It's interesting because I have the honor of meeting people like you in a ton of different Realtor of the Weeks, right? Everybody does stuff differently. I've got a husband and wife group that are phenomenal at dialing. Dial, and they kick ass, right? Is that hard as a parent and a coach to have somebody come in and you telling them, no, you need to do it this way?
Well, and that's the thing is how I coach people is I ask them, how do you want to do this? Like, what lights you up? Because what I've found and what I've observed over the years being on a team, not on a team, coaching new agents, because I ran a mentorship program for 2 years. I've coached agents that are a weekend to 20 plus years in, you know. So, and what I've found across the board is if they don't want to do it, they're more than likely not going to do it consistently. And if they do show up and do it, it's not going to be in the right energy. From the heart, person on the other end of that is going to feel that. So I just talk about the pillars, like pick the ways you want to do this. And the trick is, and what most people don't do, is consistently show up. Because consistency equals success. They're best friends. You can't have one without the other. So it's really about choosing how you want to do this. I've seen people build amazing real estate businesses for social media through just having events, through 7-level open houses. I mean, it's just, how do you want to do this? And then commit to it and go deep.
I think we talk about this often on the show, being consistent, persistent, and patient. This stuff doesn't happen overnight. I know everyone has aha moments, but it's like working out or losing weight or practicing your golf or whatever you do. You can do it for a month or two, and then all of a sudden, oh man, oh boy, now I'm back in my old mode. But this is where this mentorship and the coach is so critical, because when you feel like you're going down,
that's exactly it.
You just rely on this beautiful soul to help you out, you know?
You said it perfectly. It's the whole, you fly across country, you go to these events, you get fired up, you get excited, and then all the reasons and the voices and, oh, well, I did it yesterday, or I don't really need that, or, I mean, that would be a nice vacation, but it's fine. And all the habitual behaviors and paradigms creep up. And it's through, you said the word earlier, repetition.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what I do now and what I coach to, and why it's my purpose is that it's, and as Bob Proctor said, until the day he left this earth, you fight it. You fight those voices. You fight the reasoning. And it's through the repetition of showing up and understanding this and leveling up and 1% better every day and making the irrevocable committed decision that this is what you're going to do regardless of your current circumstances, your current results, how you're feeling. Because if you show up and you do what you feel like doing, then that's really, that's not going to get you far.
It's easy to do because this business, like I said, Jake and I have got great friends that are 18, 19 in this business. Wow. You start getting some Mac Daddy checks, and it's easy to fall out of your regimen. And all of a sudden now you're going, wow, I got no clients. I got no, et cetera. Do you bank on Facebook and your friends and your family? How do you develop your personal business with your real estate? Low-hanging fruit is what I always call it. Past clients that know, love you, you know?
I think that if you have the past clients, and there's an agent I'm coaching right now, and I'm like, what, you have 150 past clients? Like, okay, let's start there.
Yeah, right.
If you're new to it just depends where you're at in your business. But with me, absolutely, it's showing up to check in. It's showing up to, what can I give you? How's the house? Do you need any contractors? What's going on? How's Timmy doing with softball, or baseball, or just checking in and really checking in heart to heart, not head to head, and really wanting to do it for the right reasons. And, if it's staying top of mind. So many agents don't stay top of mind. Yeah. We talk about the follow-up is where most and a lot of the business comes from. Well, that is also with past clients and people that know you, like you, trust you, just staying in front of them, even just as a person, as a friend, as a past realtor, whatever capacity they're at, and educating. I think I've seen some of the best agents on social media. They show up, it's not just like sold this, all the solds, but it's like, did you know that this city is giving this grant or this happened? And it's showing up as the expert and being the expert and being where whenever real estate comes up in any of your, people, your sphere, or the people that know you, like you, trust you, your name should be the first that pops into their head. And how do you do that? You do that through staying top of mind, through giving value, good value, educating, and being responsive when they do ask for something or they do need something. They know they can count on you.
You said a few things that I want to reiterate. Heart to heart when you do this. Don't do it fake.
No,
fake is easy
to
see. Stay top of mind, right? And be a trusted advisor, right? This is going to become more relevant as this lawsuit continues, no matter which way it ends. Who gives a rat's ass? Be a trusted, educated advisor and the best at your trade. You got to do that.
Yeah, and with this, get in front of the information. With the lawsuit, be informed, like I said before, and be ready to answer questions. And be ready to even play devil's advocate. I mean, there's, again, laws of the universe, law of polarity. There's a good and a bad to everything. So what can you pull the gratitude or the good, or focus on, what good could come of it?
Yeah, and we talked about this a little bit in, with everyone wants rates down. Everyone wants rates down. Do you really want rates down? Because coming out of the woodwork is going to be thousands of buyers. You're going to sell your home, great price, of course, but then you got to buy again. And it's going to become that ugly, no inspections, fast, you just got to be careful what you wish for. Take today and make it the best you can do. do me a favor, everybody. Tell everybody how they can get a hold of you for coaching. I mean, you just in this time for me. I mean, I'm sitting there getting antsy, going, "Wow, this is cool." You know?
I love it.
How do you get a hold of you?
Well, my email is angiegerber@gmail.com.
Logically enough, right? Shocking.
Yeah, and my YouTube channels, Coaching with AG. That's my website, coachingwithag.com. Look me up. I love what I do. I love this, and it's so impactful. And I know that the reason why I keep doing this and I'm so inspired is because I see the ahas and I see the changes and I know because I know who I was, and I know that without this information, a lot of people are going to stay stuck. And if you don't like your results and you continue to not level up and not get the results you're looking for, I know why. I can show you why. And most importantly, I can show you how to change it.
Yeah.
Because if I can do it, anyone can do it.
But that's beautiful to hear because I would have never guessed this girl in the back room not raising a hand, right? Yeah. So I'm proud of you, and I really, really appreciate you coming on as a Realtor of the Week.
Yes.
This is why we do it, you guys. I mean, I said it earlier, I have the honor to get to meet people like this that I learn from, right? I'm an old cat, but I get to learn from this stuff, and you're an inspiration, and we truly, truly appreciate you being a Realtor of the Week this week.
Yes. Well, I'm so honored. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Anytime. And so you all, thank you very much for coming. We've got a Realtor Connect group that this gets posted to. It's a private real estate group for realtors. Invite all your friends. We want to get to 1,000. We have a Instagram, which is Realtor of the Week, all one word. And then Realtor of the Week, all separate words for our YouTube channel. So because we get being blessed with people like this, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you, Angie, and thank you, my friend.
Absolutely. Anytime.
You got it. Well, we'll have to do this again. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.